Up until now, we've only used Vue as in dropping a script in the bottom of an HTML document. But today, we're going to go into using the Vue CLI, or the Vue command line interface. And if you stick with me to the end, you'll not only know how to go about creating a project using the Vue CLI tool, but using the structure that it provides, you'll be able to create your own components. So let's get developing. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, my name is Jason, and I'm a full-stack web developer. And if your goal is to increase your web development skills, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, hit that notification bell right beside it, so you always be aware of when I come out with new videos. So before we can start working with the Vue CLI, you first need to have Node installed on your computer. And if you go to nodejs.org, click on the first link right here, 10.16.0. This is the long stable version, and this right here is the current version. Usually recommended for if you're working with Node and everything like this, but this is the latest version for recommended by Node. So go ahead and click on this right here and follow the instructions on how to download it, and then come back to the video. After you have that downloaded, you'll have a use of npm, which is Node Package Manager, and you can either use npm or, as I prefer to use, yarn, in which to install Vue CLI with. So if you want to use yarn, you can go to yarnpkg.com and go ahead and install yarn for your system. But after you've done all that, you can go over to VueJS CLI.vuejs.org, and it's going to take you to the Vue CLI page, where if you go down just a little bit, you'll see how to install Vue globally, the Vue CLI globally onto your machine. So let's go ahead and open up terminals or command lines if you're on Windows, and let's get it downloaded. So now that we got our terminals open, and we can go ahead and install Vue CLI onto our machines. So if you're using npm, you can go ahead and as it states there, go npm install -g. That's going to make sure that it's globally used on your machine at Vue-/CLI. But if you're using yarn, just do yarn global. Oops, if I can spell. Add at Vue/CLI. I already have it installed on my machine, so I'm not going to do it. But after you have it installed, all you have to do now in which to create a project with the Vue CLI And you can do it either one of two ways. And I'm going to take you through both of the ways of which you can do this. And the first one I'm gonna walk you through is the Vue UI. So if you're not too familiar with using the command line or terminal, you can use this method right here, and it'll it'll bring you to a web tool you can use in which to create your project from. So enough talking, let's do it. So I'm gonna go sudo Vue UI, and it's gonna ask me for my password. And then it's gonna be starting to use the command line tool. And as you can see here, you can just go up and say Vue Project Manager. And inside this, you can go to create, then create a new project. So right here, you're going to type in the name of your project, and we can just say Vue CLI starter, and then by clicking next, or you have a choice right here which package manager you want to use. I'm gonna go ahead and choose yarn, and you can overwrite a target folder if you want to, or if not, just don't check that, leave that unchecked. And it's recommended that you go ahead and initialize a Get Repository, so you can type your commit message right here. And I'm gonna just say initial commit, and then you can hit next. And right here, it's gonna ask you if you want to keep the default presets, or you can choose the manual to select features that you want to use inside your project, like if you want to use SAS or SCSS within your project, or if you already have a project that you want to bring into the platform right here, you can just go remote preset and import a project that you already have. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and hit default preset and click create project. And right now it's going to install everything that we need to include in the project. And it's now ready for us to use. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you the other way of creating a Vue project using a Vue CLI, and that's back inside your terminal. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. And back inside the terminal, we can go Vue. I'm going to sudo Vue-create, and then right here you're going to give a name to your project. I'm going to say Vue CLI DWJ, developing with JSON, starter, and then hit enter. Okay, let's see what we got here. Sudo Vue create. Okay, so that's what we did wrong. Is Vue space create Vue CLI DWJ starter. Now if you hit enter now, it's going to bring you through the same list of questions, whether or not you want to go through the default or manually select your features. But we're going to go here and just hit the default. And it's going to do the same thing. It's going to install all the dependencies that we need for our project. Alright, now it's all complete. As you can see here, now we just got cd into our project. So cd vue /CLI DWJ starter. And then we can run, you can run npm run serve to start up the development server, or if you're using Yarn, you can use Yarn run serve or Yarn serve, and it's also going to start up your development server. So let's do that. And see what we got. So we go to localhost 8081. We're now presented with our Vue CLI project. So let's go ahead and open up our IDEs and check out what all the files and folders we got. So now inside of the IDE of your choice, I'm using Visual Studio Code. We see all the files and folders that Vue CLI created for us. So we have first the node modules folder, and this is the folder where it has just everything, all the dependents and all the files and folders that are needed to run the program. And Vue uses Webpack as a bundler, so and Vue CLI sets everything up for you. So as you can see, if we make a change to any of these files, it will automatically reload with the new changes. And so in your public folder, we have your index.html file, in which it's already set up for you. And as you can see here, it's just a regular HTML document. You can change this title up to be what you want. We can say Vue CLI starter, and inside the body tag, if whoever comes to your site doesn't have JavaScript loaded, it's going to print out a message that's telling them that JavaScript has to be loaded or it won't work. That's what the no script does. And we have our div with the ID app right here. So after everything's compiled by Webpack, all our files and folders will be injected inside this div right here. And like it says right here, built files will be auto injected up underneath that up underneath here. So Webpack will automatically generate all the JavaScript files that's needed to run your program and inject it up inside your index.html as well. So let's save our changes, because we changed the name of the title. And you can see right here it's automatically changed to Vue CLI starter. So let's go back to our IDE. And also here you can create a folder and create all your create a file for your images. And this will be where you put your images if you don't want Webpack to do any processing with them. Alright, so right here, I'm going to come back to the source file later. And this right here is just a get ignore file. And if you're not familiar with get ignore, what this does is just a files letting Git know what files not to store for you. So whenever somebody comes to your GitHub page and tries to view your file, they'll have to go through and run npm or yarn install to get all the files necessary to see what your program is all about. Okay, below this is just your config file for Babel, and right here is your package lock. You don't have to worry about this file here. It's just everything that's inside your package.json, which is all your dependencies for the project, and all the configs for your lint and everything that you need for the project to run. And right here is just a README file that's going to be shown on your GitHub page. So back to the source file, because this is where you're going to be spending most of your time. You have an assets folder where you can include all your images that you want Webpack to process for you. And right here we have Vue's logo, and we have a place for all your components, which we're going to be creating our own component at the end of this video. And if you go inside here, it's just everything that you see here is what you're seeing here. Okay, so back to the file. And right underneath here, the app.vue file, this is like the main, this is what the main file is loading in. And as you can see here, they're importing the hello world component into here. And the main.js file is where all the magic happens. This is where they're importing Vue and importing your app file. And then right here is rendering out your app and mounting it to the div with the ID of app right here. So now that we have a little bit more familiarity with the files, let's go ahead and create a component. So now to go ahead and build out a component, what we need to do is close this out, and inside of our components area, we need to make another file. So I'm gonna just go ahead and use the integrated terminal from VS Code and create another file in our components folder. And I'm gonna call it Hello Vue. So now inside Hello Vue, we have to provide our component a template area, and components will also need a script area, and it's not really needed if you don't need it inside your script, but we're gonna go ahead and put it anyway. Style area, and inside of our template here, we're gonna just put a section tag, and I'm just gonna input a paragraph, which I'm gonna create a greeting. So from the hello component. So in our script area, we're just gonna go ahead and provide a props property, and that props is gonna be a greeting variable, which is gonna be a string. So we can save this. And now if we go back to app.vue, instead of this, we're going to be bringing in our hello component. So we need to import it. So import hello from components hello.vue, and now we need to import in our components area, instead of hello world, we need just hello. And then I'm also going to provide a data property, but the thing that's different here is we can't do it like we did the other way when we just brought a script tag into HTML. We need to make this a function. Which is now going to return our variable. So I'm going to say greeting. And then in quotes, I'm going to just say hello world. And now we can pass in our prompt to our component. So greeting equals greeting, because that's what we call our prompt. So if we save this, what we should see is hello world from hello component. Okay, so now that we've properly set up Vue CLI onto our computers, we ran through how to set up a project using the Vue CLI, and we've also learned how to compose a component using the Vue CLI. So hopefully you've gained some good information from this video, and if so, go ahead and give me a like on the video, and leave me a comment saying what I can what I've done good or what I can do better at. And also, if you haven't done so by now, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified of up and coming videos. But until next time, keep developing.